Welcome back.
Hi, Riley. Hi, first guest of the podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
The first Atta
Yeah.
Attaboy. Atta-guy.
Your dad would be
My
so
dad's
disappointed.
gonna be upset, really. Good start.
So if you're new to AttaGirl, my name is Riley.
And I'm Cam.
And our special guest is
Corey.
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 If you've been listening, you heard of Bulldog Man, Bulldog guy, whatever his name was back in the day.
Yeah.
That is Corey. He is here. He indeed is a Georgia Bulldog. So this past weekend really tested us.
I almost wore my Georgia shirt today.
Absolutely not.
So you would have told me if I would have put it on to take it off.
Yes.
It was the bright red one, too.
Because if there was anything you should have worn today, it would be an Alabama shirt. So we made a bet before the game.
Right.
And if Alabama won, he had to post a picture on his story in an Alabama shirt, jersey, whatever, saying #Roll Tide.
Okay, did he?
He hasn't done it yet.
Well,
no.
we haven't gotten there yet.
But
we have to borrow Mr. Sean's shirt.
Yeah, my
'cause I don't have
dad.
one.
Right.
Yeah, my dad
Right.
said, what? My dad said, I hate when people just randomly text me. Like, I have not spoken to you in months.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
But this keeps happening. This is a reoccurring thing in my life. Y'all, I will talk about somebody, not in a bad way, just be like, oh my gosh, remember so-and-so and so-and-so? They will text me. Like, I have not spoken to them in 4 years. Why are they texting me? That's crazy. That's why we're big manifestors.
I know. I'm
like,
serious.
when this podcast has millions of listeners,
Because it will.
because it will. Also, shout out to whoever commented on our YouTube channel saying, did you see the comment? It was so sweet. He said something like, y'all are going to reach so many people with this podcast or something like that. It was
Oh.
really nice. And I was like, even if it's just one comment, that comment means the world. So thank you.
I bet I didn't see it because I usually just filter by unread comments, and I bet you already looked at it on the account. That's probably why.
But it was so sweet. I was like, aw. But back to the dad said Corey could borrow a shirt. So we got to do that. And then his bet, obviously, same thing. If Georgia won, I'd wear a Georgia shirt and do #GoDogs.
I feel like you've done that often, though.
You've
done
posted.
that in your relationship.
Yeah, that would have been
Well, it was
not
always
bad.
Go Corey and dogs.
Okay.
Like,
But I
very
wore that, but I
abbreviated,
repped
but
the G.
Yeah. It was a little bulldog.
I have worn I've worn a Georgia hat with the G on it.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm
in
just
my
going to be
hometown.
I'm going to be honest, though, and hate me if you want. I have not had as much fun at a football game than I did watching Corey play baseball and barking.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say it.
Well,
Thank you.
I'll
see?
say it.
we all bark
and you
together.
you wonder why my dad liked you.
No, I'm not kidding.
No, when you're on that, it's one of those things though. When you're going against it, you hate it. But if it's your team, you love it.
Yeah.
So like when we were pulling for the dogs, and
Something
mind
about
you,
the barking, I'm not kidding. It's fun. And it works.
and we were in a minor league stadium.
Yeah.
Too. That was cool. When we
yeah.
were watching y'all play Tech, the whole atmosphere, and then barking.
It was fun.
Yeah, and it was against Tech, so y'all had a little like upbeat crowd too.
Got
it.
They wanted us to beat Tech more.
Yes.
Especially with
So,
how everything was going.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Like I will do the barking. I don't like being barked at, but
Sure,
I will
that's
do
weird.
the barking.
Well, that's what you said. If someone barked at you, you would say sit.
Yeah, if
Sit.
someone came up
Shake.
to me, yes, I was like, that is the perfect comeback if someone tried to bark
That's
at
really
me this past
good.
weekend.
That's
He'd be like,
really
sit down, roll over, good boy. I thought that was perfect.
That's so funny.
So if you really can't stand Georgia, if someone ever barks at you, use that. I think
No, I
it's
said
genius.
it when we were watching the Bama Georgia game this weekend. I was at home watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look, you know what? It's fun. I get their fan base. I used to not. I used to be like, why are y'all barking at people that you're
Right.
weirdos?
Yes.
But when you're in it, I get it. Understood.
Yeah, so going back to that weekend, too, when Lex was in town, they kept saying, like, oh, they got that dog in them. And so from there on out, we'd be at practice, and Lex would be like, you just got that dog in you. So there's
Yeah.
little things like that. It was kind of fun.
It was definitely fun.
But it still my Crimson Tide, so. I barked for baseball, but I just don't think I can do it for
I bark for baseball.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was
That's a
it was
good
a long
slogan.
time of Go Corey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Barked for baseball. I love that. So, do you have any life updates for us? Anything? Okay.
My life kind of like took a big shit on me. I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay.
It did.
That's okay.
It did. It's like I had a constant bird over me just shitting on me.
Oh,
And that's okay. It's
splat
it's
all over you.
every day.
Wow.
It's supposed to come in threes. We're at about 7.
Mm.
So
Maybe it wanted to triple up on you so that
Right.
nothing bad happens for a very long time after this 9.
Maybe.
Maybe you have
or
2
maybe
more.
maybe my head was just getting so big and excited and like loving life and being like, oh
Mhm.
my god, life is so good. Nothing can stop me. That I had to be humbled.
And life will do that to you.
Life will do that to you.
It really will. It's kind of unfortunate, but
Everything's fine though. I'm just being a little dramatic. I mean,
no, you're not. I wouldn't say you're being dramatic. No.
One thing about me is I'm gonna downplay everything.
Yeah.
No
right.
one's really gonna know what's going on ever, and
Well,
that's okay.
no.
No, I just have a couple of sick family members, issues with friends and fam, and a whole thing. So
Yeah.
it's all right.
But we're here. We're getting to
here.
record this
Yeah,
fine dandy day.
we are, and I'm in good spirits. We're good. What about
On
you?
the up and up, right?
Yeah, on the up and up, definitely.
Life updates. Not really anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you. Just been living life and line dancing. Line danced twice last week. Toe does not feel great. I reminded myself last night, Riley, it hasn't even been 2 months since you had surgery.
That's true.
I'm out here trying to be normal,
Boot scoop buggy.
right?
Literally.
And then I'm wondering why is my toe throbbing? Why is there like this sharp burning pain? I don't know, maybe because you had surgery a month and a half ago.
Yeah,
That could be
Amy
it.
line danced 2 days later.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah. I also so you know my little jokes I've been doing?
Yeah. Do you have a new one?
No,
Okay.
because I've been shattered.
Oh no.
What?
I was telling a joke to Drummer Boy,
Yeah.
and it was my, the one that's like the frog with the loan.
Yes.
My favorite one.
Yes.
Right.
It's a story too. Like it's really
It's a long-winded joke, but it pays off.
yes.
He did a little search on TikTok, and there's about 11 TikToks of people telling that same joke. It's not my joke anymore. I didn't know anyone knew that
No.
joke. Every time I tell that joke, everyone's like,
Oh, I've never
"What?"
heard that.
Yeah. Knee slapper.
I had never
No.
heard it. I've only ever heard it from you.
Thank you. It's not, though.
And not only did the first time I hear it come from Cam, it came from Cam with a mic in her hand at Rock the South. So
It's true.
So hearing that for the first time in that setting, like
Yeah.
no one will ever top that.
Yeah.
You
And-
can,
okay.
you can be credited with being the first.
Or the
No,
best.
I don't, the best.
Yeah,
the
best.
best.
Okay, even if it
The
wasn't the first, you're
funniest.
still the best.
I agree. Okay.
So
No, it kind of just put a jab in my heart because he was like, oh, I've heard this joke. And then he did a little search and found it. And I was like, did you really have to rain on my parade right now? I've been
Yeah.
telling that joke for years and everyone loves it. I've never had no one laugh.
yeah,
See, years.
Years.
Probably before TikTok.
years. Well
Probably.
before
Probably,
TikTok.
yeah.
I bet you know what I bet it was? When you told it at Rock the South.
Someone heard it
So-
and picked it up.
And videoed it.
And it was like, that's a good
That's
idea.
what it was. Because we had it on a speaker.
It's true.
Do you know how many people in that RV park probably heard it? That's
My frog loan joke.
golly. That's what it is.
It hurt my feelings though. And then
Yeah.
I told the ninja jokes.
Yeah.
And there's a whole video I'll show you later of
Okay.
me having the same rant, but like a lot more emotional and upset about it. Because I was like, in the video, I was like, you know the ninja ones. You even knew the frog one. I was like, what is my life? My life's over.
Because these are my identity.
Yeah, these are my jokes, and they're not. You're telling me they're not. Everyone knows
That
my
is
jokes.
crushing.
Yeah.
I bet you CJ doesn't.
I'm going to tell him.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really all that
We
matters.
don't need Drummer Boy when CJ will listen.
Yes.
CJ
Yes.
likes my jokes. I
Yes.
hope.
Yeah, he was upset. He was like, so AttaGirl this.
I know, CJ.
Yeah, but it's okay. We're back. We're back.
Go dogs anyway.
There you go. So life updates, really nothing. Corey's been in town. We've been hanging out, line dancing, like I said, 2 times last week. Got to explore lots of Tuscaloosa last week. Took him to Wine Market, my favorite place in Tuscaloosa. Favorite Mexican SoCal cantina. We've been hanging out with Jules. Shout out Sunshine Nutrition. These teas, y'all.
The stickers are so cute this
right?
week.
I know. She's been slaying the game.
I love it.
So that's kind of been life. What we wanted to do today, since we do have a special guest. Questions that you've always wanted to ask a guy or ask Corey. We're just going to throw them at him.
Yeah, first one.
Okay, we're diving right in.
No, I have one. It's been eating me alive. Why are some men balding at the age of 30 but don't want a serious relationship? Like, do you know your hair's falling out? What do you mean you don't want a serious relationship?
Yeah.
You're a little out of time.
Really good question.
I can't say that I know.
Yeah, I know.
I think it is one of those things that I have had friends that know that they're balding or they have very thin hair that they end up just shaving it. So they own it.
So they don't
they'd
care
rather-
that they're balding.
I mean, no, but I feel like you get those guys that will just be like, oh, yeah, I'm balding, and they get used to it. But
Yeah.
then they're sitting there still judging when, like,
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother them that they're not in a serious committed relationship. Like they're not worried. Like,
It's
oh
like-
no,
but, like-
if I do end up balding,
see, but
I'm
I
not
don't think
gonna
that's
have
where
fun.
their head at. Their head's at. You know what I mean? Whereas y'all
The point
think
of my
that.
question is like you're running out of time. Clearly,
Yeah.
you're losing your hair, but like you're not mature enough to have a relationship, but you're literally bald. Like you're out of time.
Well, yeah, do you think a guy's smart enough to realize that?
no.
Well, then
No.
there you go.
That
But
was just on my
I
mind
think
this
that
week.
if you see the guys that shave their head because of this,
I think that's maturity.
that's understanding.
That's
that,
emotional
You
growth.
know what?
I think so.
I have thin hair. I'm losing it. Let's shave it and wear a hat.
Because I'm Dr. filling this place up right now.
Yes.
I agree. So one time, no, you know what? I shouldn't say that. That's
Okay.
going to make me look bad.
It's okay.
No, I'll say it.
Yeah.
Because, whatever.
Say it.
This is my podcast.
Exactly. AttaGirl.
One time I was FaceTiming this person and we were getting along so well. And like I still really like him whenever he's cool. But then he like bent down to get something.
Bald spot. Oh,
but like
no.
not just like a little bald spot, like the whole top of his head. Like it was really dramatic. And I had a very
Did you
dramatic
gasp?
reaction.
Oh my gosh, what did you do? I would have been like,
No. Because this is before we like met in person. I've never seen him in person.
oh man, Corey and I might not have actually met in person. I'm just kidding.
No,
You're
I'm
not.
gonna be honest. I still have not met this
He doesn't know this.
No.
He doesn't
He
know
doesn't
that there was the one
listen.
thing,
No.
Man, I couldn't get over that bald spot.
No, it
Could
was
floss my
just it was
teeth.
jarring. I'm not gonna lie, it was jarring. I just wasn't prepared.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
that's fine. She was telling me that if I had a bad voice the other day, that she probably wouldn't have talked to me.
It's valid.
Yes. Like
There's
if
little
the
things.
first time we had ever FaceTime.
Yeah, you were scared. Every girl knows what that feels like.
Yes,
Like, oh
'cause-
my god, what if he's a pipsqueak?
Yes.
It's true.
I would have probably never talked to him again.
I just had a high helium voice.
Yeah, what is?
Oh my gosh.
You have to. No. Mm-mm.
No, it's true. I agree.
But instead, you have a very nice voice.
It's bad right now, but thank you.
Because there are just certain things. So Corey, for you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
what is one thing that's like no? Like if you meet a girl before me, if you had met a girl and she had done this one thing or had this one thing or said or did something, what is one thing that's like no, I'm out, not negotiable?
It's got to be like bad breath, but that's just in general of people.
It's fair.
If like you come and stink in a room with your upper lip, I'm not going to be happy.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I feel the
Really,
same way.
Like
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't know.
you
That's
can-
just my mom being like, never be the dirty kid.
I-
Have
yeah.
good breath,
Yeah.
put deodorant. Like I think that's just is in general. of-
Hygiene.
Yeah.
I mean,
hygiene.
I think a lot of people just need to pick a struggle at this point. I know that sounds bad,
Start
but
of
like
a sentence.
you need to pick a struggle. Like you can't have bad breath and be like a loser. Not loser
Right.
literally, but like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can't like have a bad personality and bad breath. You gotta
Well, it's
pick
like
a
you're
struggle.
controlling it. Like
Gotta
I
pick a
couldn't control
struggle.
having a bad voice, but I can control, my breath smelling
Oh
good.
man,
and chewing
so
a
I'm
piece of good.
superficial.
I'm superficial too because of his
Dang.
bald spot. I'm sorry.
No.
I
I don't think that guys think that deep into things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a guy might overlook a voice for a little bit as something, whereas if I would have had a bad voice, hey, sorry,
She's got some
something
knockers,
came
but a
up.
bad voice. Oh well.
I mean, that could be a guy's mind very easily.
I get it.
Where is the girl?
I mean, what? Well,
I mean,
my dad listens to this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Could we overlook a bad voice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I could overlook. That visual is not funny. It is. Oh, my dad's gonna hate that. Okay. You know who won't though? CJ. Thank you, CJ. For all the
he's got his AirPods in, listening right now, cracking up, trying not to wake the dogs up.
The funniest visual Riley told me was when you said, "What's his mom's name?"
Mrs. Lois.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lois said that she woke up because the bed was shaking.
He is a giggler.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I
Him
love
and-
that.
He's hurled over. Side note about him giggling. He's just hurled over in this souvenir shop, sitting there just because Cameron found an I Heart Coco and an I Heart Riley thing. And sent a picture to Riley. CJ just sitting there giggling.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
precious.
They went fishing together when they were on a beach
Yeah.
trip, and CJ texted me and said, 10 fish CJ, 2 fish Corey, with a bunch of laughing faces. And I said, we got fisherman CJ in the house.
Nice. I would love it. It's like my dad will text me all the time about bands and stuff. It's like, does Drummer Boy like this band? I saw them in 1972.
See, but that's so sweet.
It's sweet. And then my dad will text me like, look at my new fish tank I've made for the, and he's had like,
Aww,
it's sweet. It makes me want to cry.
I know.
And he's gonna hate that too. He's gonna really hate that. And be like, you're making me sound like a, you know,
Yeah.
fill in the blank.
Yeah. I know what you would
Like,
say.
no, Dad, I just love you. That's all.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's sweet and cutie, and I do this when I get your messages.
Literally.
You're sweet.
Oh.
Because you're texting me about your little fish tank you made. Because you have little hobbies, and that's
See,
cute.
That's the day we went through and made the list of things that like someone has to have. Like, you have to have hobbies, and that's the cutest thing ever. But if you didn't have hobbies, I'd be like, mm-mm. But like the fact that you like to hunt, you like to fish, you like to golf, like having things that you like to do. Just like his tattoo, he drew it. I'm like, that's
Aw.
cute. See? See? Like having those little things, that's cute.
I agree.
It's just sweet when a guy,
So I'm not a dud.
any man has like any little thing.
No, I agree. I don't know. It's something about, because girls, okay, when girls have their little things, it's like, oh, she's like, sweet girl. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
When a guy has things that they're really into and they just like talk about it a lot.
It's so cute.
It's so cute.
It's so freaking cute.
I don't know. I can't explain that.
No, but I know exactly what you're saying. Yes. That really does like give you butterflies
Yeah.
in terms of being like. Okay, another question I have. So Corey and I never really, so we met through social media
Mm-hmm.
and then started FaceTiming and then finally met in person. But what I want to know is, what was Corey like? Like, what is his game? You know?
Yeah.
So if we hadn't started dating the way we started dating, say I was at a bar in Athens and you see me, what is your go-to to pick me up or come talk to me? What would you have done?
I wouldn't say that I really would have done anything. I would have sat there and like try to figure out who you are and then like slowly make my way to you.
He was
You know what I
expecting me
mean?
to go to him.
I mean,
I would love to study your train of thought sometimes. I love
no kidding. Well, no, it was like one of those things where like me and the guys would always sit in the same spot and like we would just hang out there. And then naturally as like the night went on, like
Yeah.
we would
Yeah.
kind of move around or float around the bar, like whether it got too packed in this one spot, so we'd move to another, whatever. And then like,
Okay, but forget the guys. Like, you're there because you're like, that girl, she's cute. I want to go talk to her. How are you going to pick her up? Me. Me.
Oh, just any girl.
No,
Me.
I don't know, I probably would just started talking to you and then probably just try to buy you a drink
But
or
like,
something.
what would you have said?
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, you from around here?
Dang, I've never seen you before. I would have noticed.
You know what though? That's not horrible.
You new to these parts?
Oh no.
I'm serious. I don't know, because I wasn't like I'm not a pickup line guy. Like, oh hey,
Honestly,
like I don't
green
know,
flag.
like
No, absolutely. I just want to know, like, what is your game? Like, would you have been like, hey?
yeah, I would have probably said hey. I would have tried to talk to you, and
Hey, can I get you a drink?
but it would probably have been one of those things that if you just like turned away, then it wouldn't have changed my night. Obviously, knowing you now, but like it wasn't going there for those reasons.
No, 'cause,
You know what I
like,
mean?
Think about it. Because what if it did ruin his night, and you would have gotten the ick because he would have like left and be like, this bitch didn't talk to me.
That's true.
Would have
Yeah,
been different.
no.
That's a green
That's
flag.
true.
But if we have one up there, and next thing you know, we're
That's
having an hour-long conversation, then I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
sure,
Cool. You've earned a drink.
Yeah.
yeah, probably multiple.
No, that's funny. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
get that.
You would have just been normal.
Yeah, I
You would have been
wouldn't.
Mr. Smooth. Like, in terms of, like, cocky smooth.
Yeah, I wouldn't walk up there and try and hit you with some line or whatever.
See,
no.
but I will say, though, this is a tough line right here. Because I'm one of these that if I already say no, which I wouldn't have been like no, but if you keep going
Also-
after I've
yeah.
been like, I'm not interested,
Yeah.
that pisses me off. But then if you don't pursue me, then I'm like,
Well, also
Okay,
see,
I
knowing
kinda
you
wanted a
now,
little
knowing you
game.
now of that, like it's a lot harder to answer that question.
Yeah.
Because again, how many times have you gotten
pissed
mad
off.
that someone goes,
Yeah.
Corey, someone touched me today, and I
Yeah,
almost
pissed.
swung on them. They're lucky I
Do
didn't
not
have one
touch
more
me.
drink. Like, don't touch
Mhm.
me. So like knowing
It's
those
true.
things now, like if I
It
would have
is
just came up,
tough. Oh, it's
if I would have
tough,
came
yeah.
up and accidentally tapped you or said, hey, excuse me, and you would have, yeah, popped up or something, you never would have talked to me. See, then how am I supposed to?
True.
I know that now.
So thank goodness.
So, yeah,
you just
thank
slid
goodness
into
I
those
noticed it, yeah.
DMs.
and
Yeah.
we're sitting here now.
Yeah.
It's a neutral area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neutral waters. For sure.
Do you have another question? Because I have another question. If you don't,
No, go ahead. You could.
okay. This is like for guys in general.
Mm-hmm.
So a toxic thing that girls sometimes occasionally do just because of past relationships, we check snap scores.
Oh,
Do
Mm.
guys do that?
No,
no.
You or guys in general?
guys
Like-
in general. Yeah,
I don't
no.
think guys in general
No.
do. They don't.
We don't care.
Really? So like if a girl left you on open,
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how many guys you could sit and ask and say, "Hey, do you understand what a snap score is?"
Right.
Like, tell me what happens for a snap score. I don't think guys could tell you that. I really don't even know. I don't know. I know that there's
That's like
something.
my
There's something that you get if you send one, and there's something that you get if you
Yeah.
get one. Like, but I don't know those number
it's
ratio.
like
what
when
it
you're
does.
left on open, you're not like, dang, but is she snapping other people?
No. But you
No.
know, also
I
never left me on
hate being
open.
offended.
You left me on red, or not red, on delivered. 2 days later, I get a snap. Oh, my bad. But like I wasn't sitting there like,
But-
oh no, she's
but,
talking to someone
okay.
else. But
See, but now you've said to me how bad I am at responding. You wish you had known that before. Like when
No,
I
no,
said
no,
I
no,
wasn't
no.
good at responding.
no,
like,
I understood before, and I tried to be understanding of it. But now seeing you operate in your day to day life, I
Yeah.
understand
yeah,
why
yeah.
you always tried to be upfront of, hey, I'm bad at responding.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the text you showed me the other day of when you were scrolling, you were like, see, I'm a terrible friend because I didn't respond. And it was like a week long. But now I understand of like when you wake up, you have a kabillion and one things going on.
Kabillion. I like that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So friends and I, this is so crazy. Like with snap scores. I mean, I don't think I've actually ever checked your snap score. That's how I know I'm in a healthy relationship.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not a girl that does that.
Oh, I was.
I have been. So
Okay, I'm not anymore. Yeah.
Let me
I was.
Let me tell you the point where I knew that this was not good. My ex-boyfriend.
Mhm.
We were still actively dating, and I found myself checking snap scores and getting stressed out. So
Yes.
I blocked him on Snapchat. My boyfriend, I blocked him.
That's totally
Because-
valid.
I knew that I was gonna drive myself nuts
Mm-hmm.
trying to check it because I had just learned like, oh, you can check and see if they opened or blah blah blah.
Mhm.
I've done all that. I had just learned that, so then I started doing it, and I was like, no, I can't.
See, I got to
I'll
where
be nuts.
I just left it sitting there. Like I left him undelivered. I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna open it because then that way I'm in control right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to have to see how many other people he's Snapchatting that's not me.
Yeah.
While dating, yes.
Yep.
So what we would do, like, or you ask a friend, like, hey, can you put the number in your notes? or you like type it in your calculator, or you like keep a note sheet, and so then you know what the number was at. And it's crazy. Girls do that way too many times.
I check people's Snap scores like when we first start talking.
That's
because
true,
I'm like,
too.
how often do you use this app? It's like that thing.
Yeah.
But like I don't keep track of it.
So also, what do you think if a guy's first thing is, hey, what's your Snap?
I hate that. Sorry.
I do too.
Spoiler alert.
What do you think if a guy's first thing is, what's your Snapchat?
I think that guy's just still young and probably still on Snapchat. You know, whereas like
Yeah.
us now, I'd rather
We-
we text all the time.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
you know it's just like snap here and there.
Yeah.
Where, but then we also FaceTime all the time. So like, I usually only Snapchat you. Heck, I even started sending you pictures and videos of the golf course over text. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so I think that Snapchat is an easy way for guys to go into something and not have to like really deal with it. Whereas like if you're texting, you know, it's like, oh, it's a big deal. You're texting.
Yeah.
You
No, I
know, and then
agree.
it's like,
Oh, I
I mean,
agree.
I think Snapchat can be almost like, oh, add it to the list.
Yeah.
Of, you know,
Whereas
whereas
then
like,
streaks come in. It's like, how important am I? Am I just a streak?
Yeah.
Am I like someone you're actually
Exactly.
talking to every day? Like
See, but you know
intentionally?
what's sad though is in the past, I've cared so much. Like, well, they snapped me today, so what does this mean? Oh, well, he's only snapped me this many times today. What does this mean?
Oh, me too.
You start looking into a snap, and it's like realistically, if Snapchat's our only form of communication, this isn't anything, anyways.
Right.
well, that's what you gave me the example of. Snap texts are the only form of communication. I could never imagine that. No.
No.
Absolutely not.
I have friends that the
Yep.
only like form of communication they have with anybody
It's Snapchat.
is Snapchat. And I don't understand.
No.
I think that I, at this point, wouldn't have Snapchat if it didn't like mean I couldn't see stuff you put.
Yeah.
Same thing with Instagram. If I wasn't supporting you and seeing what you put at this point, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish I could say that, but it's just my job. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I'm
Unfortunately,
gonna
I
support
do.
your job, and I'm gonna.
No, I'm saying though, like
redo
I
those things,
agree.
but
No,
agree.
I would genuinely delete all of my Snap or all of my social media
Yes.
right now.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
That makes me think this is so irrelevant, but kind of on topic. When I was getting my hair done, one of the girls that was in there, she was talking about her kids and like them having kids or having kids in today's world. How do you like deal with social media? How do you keep kids innocent longer?
Yeah.
Because it's just, you know, and we were talking about putting your kids into sports and really having a big family that you're constantly with friends, with family, being outside, doing things other than sitting indoors doing this. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
actually so valid when I think about what I was doing growing up. I was at
Mhm.
either my cousin's sporting events, my siblings' sporting events, my own sporting events, or I was with family.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a valid point. Like getting off of social media and like for me, literally looking at it as, okay, this is my job. Other than that, like unplug.
Well, I think doing it the way that we were raised, I didn't get a phone until like I needed it because I was like gonna be away from the house
Oh,
or
me
something.
too.
You know, like
Yeah.
I had a flip phone because my parents knew I'd walk around the woods, go fish in the neighborhood pond, and it was something like I was away.
How old were you?
Probably 7 or 8. You know, I had
Oh.
my dad's like old literal flip
Okay, that makes me
phone,
feel better.
and it was like mom, dad.
No.
That's
Maybe
really early,
911.
actually, though.
Yeah, but I didn't get my first like iPod Touch or like real
like
phone,
internet phone.
phone that was like
Yeah.
games on it.
Yeah.
Probably until late middle school, but that was because I was the oldest. I was gonna be away at school by myself,
Yeah.
and I was like
But
gonna
that makes
have
me
to
feel
be
better.
like because
thought
I was
got
having
one early.
baseball, like I had
I did
baseball,
not.
and my dad would have to come check me out for whatever practices, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like okay, he needed to have me text
Yeah.
him or like hey, I'm coming to pick you up, get ready to get checked out,
Right.
and we're going. But then even at that point, it was so ingrained in us that we were playing outside that like the phone
Yeah.
was literally, "Hey, Dad, I need a ride back from the pond."
Right.
Because Caleb and Kyle I got phones pretty early on from Nana. Like the ones that we never had flip. We had the one that slid up, and the next one was touchscreen and it slid to the side. Or our first one slid up and to the side.
Mm-hmm.
The sidekick.
Yeah.
I know exactly what phone you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's the best freaking phone
Ever.
out there.
Honestly, I think we still have it in the house. Like I didn't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Have that, and then we had the touch screen, and it slid to the side, and then we got an iPhone. But like I've always had, like I don't remember times without phones. But like you said, there wasn't really anything you could do on it besides text and call.
Yeah.
My thing, there was a rule in my house, no like personal phone, like cell phone until you were 13.
Hmm.
That's just how we grew up. So I
That's
didn't.
probably close.
Yeah, my brother didn't get one till he was 13. So then I had to wait till I was 13.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not like we both got one.
I think even go back. I think we had walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Like,
and my
because
first.
I was like,
But honestly,
when I
how
lived in the
fun.
apartment, like
Yeah.
I lived in an apartment when I first moved down here, but there again were woods back behind it. Well, we never went far enough that you couldn't go past the walkie-talkie. So
Right.
my mom would have one in the apartment, and we'd be out there.
Wait,
Oh,
but that's
fun.
actually fun.
And so it'd be
Good
like,
idea.
my mom would like, whatever, say, hey,
Yeah.
time to come in. Okay, well, we'll be back by whatever. And it was gradually make your way. And if you went out of that,
Yeah.
like don't go out of that. I'm trying to remember, but that sounds about right.
Well,
Because then
that-
that's when it
it's
turned into
also-
that phone. And imagine CJ going from that flip phone. That was like, I don't even know.
That's also an extra like security and like good reminder.
Yeah.
Like if like you can't communicate with mom, you're too far. You would just
Yes.
naturally make your way back.
Let's bring walkie-talkies back.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Side note, that rocked the South 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron and I found Riley Green's walkie-talkie.
We did
And
talk to him.
we talked to him all night. We showed everybody.
People were shook.
I mean, it was people.
Do you remember that guy that was
Oh.
playing beer pong? And we just like, honestly, what were we doing?
This is what I was doing. Riley, leave me alone. Please stop trying to contact me through this walkie-talkie. And someone's like, Riley Green, yes, he's just like obsessed with me and he keeps trying to talk to me through this walkie-talkie. They're like, no way. I'm like, okay, Riley, if this is you, please do a duck call. And then I pressed the button and it did duck calls. And people were like,
They were so surprised.
I mean, they were shook. And the fact that they believed it.
Oh yeah, they're so dumb.
Like there was
Respectfully.
literally a duck call button on the
There's
walkie-talkie.
someone out there that actually did this. They're like, dang, they just called me dumb.
Yeah.
Till this day, someone is out there thinking that they saw a girl talking to Riley Green on a walkie-talkie.
No, but I was at like, what were we doing? Because why were we at so many different people's like campers and stuff, like playing
Where
games with
were
them?
we?
What were we doing? Like we were literally walking around, stopping, doing celeb shots, and moving on.
Yes.
Like what were we doing? A blast, might I
Yeah.
add. But like,
Tunnel vision.
yeah. And talking to Riley Green, fakely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
If
full
this
on
is you-
conversations, like we were kind of looking nuts.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
if you think about it now,
Oh.
knowing that it was all a facade, we look insane.
Stupid. We're the dumb ones.
But clearly you fooled somebody.
Oh, so many. Truly so many.
Did I just shoot that ponytail holder somewhere?
Gonna have to go look at the video review on that. Oh, it's right here.
Found it.
Instant replay.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun.
That was fun.
Well, do you have any other questions we can ask Coco? Anything at all?
I don't know. Honestly. Did you ask all of yours?
The only other one I had, because I don't know why I was thinking about this. Okay. How do guys make friends and what do guys look for in friendships?
This is a really good question because I also have thoughts.
Like, I just feel like guys always know one another and they're always just bros. But like, how did this start? How do you keep like finding friends and like decide who's close and who's not? Because like I know how my friendships are and like they're just different. And there are only some people you just like really click with.
Mm-hmm.
Like with guys, I feel like guys are just always bros.
Yeah.
Guys are bros
I
until
know
you're
why.
not. I think that's why. Guys are cool with each other until that guy gives you a reason not to be cool with each other.
Yeah.
But
Whereas
then,
like when I walk into a locker room, cool, these are my boys, whatever, we're doing this. And then they start to show colors of like, okay,
Yeah.
that guy is kind of cocky, don't like him. That guy kind of does things the wrong way, okay, don't like him. Okay, that guy, he's on his own, so whatever, cool. You know, it's one of those things. And then it's like, it's really comes down to like for me, not the cocky guys.
Mhm.
Just because like I just try and go day to day.
Yeah.
And that's what I've come to and learned and explained to her. And so it's like, what guys can go like that without being like, yeah, bro, I did this today or I did that.
Yeah.
Things that girls don't like, guys don't like that too. They don't want the
Ah.
cocky one to walk into the room being like, okay, dude, we don't really care. It doesn't
So
really
would
matter
you-
to us.
This is just an observation. I could be completely wrong, so I'm asking. True or false? I feel like it's more rare for men to have like close best friends that like you share everything with and you talk about girls with and you like girls are sitting around talking about like every detail of their lives.
yes.
I feel like maybe guys genuinely don't do that. Period. I feel like
guys
y'all are more
do that
reserved
for like
and-
advice. It's
Uh-huh.
like we would, instead of us calling it like, oh, I have some tea or whatever. Like guys would be like, yo, I need some advice. Like I'm
Okay.
kind of in a tough spot here. Like, can you help me out?
Yeah.
And then you kind of just talk it. And so like for me, like that was my roommates,
Yeah.
and like they would come and be like, hey, whatever. Or like you just kind of notice. Like so mine were my roommates, who we all just obviously was
Yeah.
every day together. And I would definitely go into the house and tell those guys things that I wouldn't tell my teammates this past year.
Yeah.
Just because I had known them for so much longer.
Okay, question though. These little advice talks, how long are they?
Oh,
Compared to like our tea time could be like hours.
yeah, no, not ours.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it can go one of two ways. It can go, wow, like Riley, you're in a tough spot. You know, we're gonna help you. Or
Yeah.
hey, let's grow up and like realize what you're saying right now and stop that from coming out of your mouth ever again. And you're like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
I should probably take a second because that
So-
was.
Yeah.
So when you don't like these other guys though, like how do you go about that? Because like girls are just like, yeah, screw her, I can't stand her. Oh, I hate that bitch, like something like that. Like a guy's not gonna do that. Like, dude, I can't stand that effing dude.
Yeah. No.
What do you
I
do?
can't imagine that.
Do you just like avoid them? Like, do they know you don't like them? Like for a girl, it's like you kind of know when a girl doesn't like you. Like when you're friends or
for
when you
sure.
have beef, like you know it. Do guys know that?
Guys, I mean, we're not gonna like go purposely avoid somebody. Like we're not gonna go out of our way. Like if we're walking the same path, I'm not gonna walk 20 feet to my right to go around this person.
I would.
Whereas I know exactly. So y'all would do that. So a perfect example was, I mean, I'll just say whatever. Dylan Goldstein. Okay. At first, when he came onto the team, came off as that like cocky, arrogant guy, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
from Miami. You know, like chest out.
Yeah.
Like really, we were like, okay,
Sit
This
down.
who's
guy.
this guy?
This guy,
okay,
yeah.
coming in here, who is he? And so we kind of butted heads a little bit. Like I kind of like was like, hey, you're not gonna walk around like that. Like if someone's talking, like you're gonna pay attention because you could tell he was, and he's kind of like off in la la land.
Right.
And then you kind of learn like, okay, this guy's cracked out on AttaGirl. Literally couldn't sit and like watch an entire movie all the way through if he had
Oh,
like a gun
no.
to his head.
Yeah.
He was just like that just because he's from Miami. He's a complete goofball.
Yeah.
But so before we got to that point where I love the kid, like we had a little button heads, and he was like, yo, we're on the same team. We're going to figure it out. And like, no matter what happens, we are going to be on the same team for the
Yeah.
course this year. I'm really sorry for like what I've done, and I'm going to work on that. And like, he was like, honestly, can you help me with it? Because I didn't know he was on Adderall. He's like, I'm on this stuff. Like, it's really hard for me to pay attention. Like, can you just help me out? So
Oh.
we knew that after every meeting that kid was going to walk up and say, hey, what do we have today?
Yeah.
like,
What
you
was
knew-
that?
like, We just had a 15-minute thing.
yeah.
It's color coded actually to the minute. Oh no, what are we doing? What round is it?
Right.
The first round that we do every single day for the last 300 days, Dylan. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But you grew to love it
Love him.
because it's just him.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
I get
it's
that.
you kind of just I might have not talked to him, and then you kind of pick up on that because we're in the same group. Oh, Corey's
Yeah.
not talking to me. Oh, I'm not talking to Dylan. But I'm not gonna go out of my way and be
Mm.
an a-hole to the guy, like
Right.
you know. But it's also different. Like I mean,
How
a
are
frat could
guys
be different.
also so forgiving?
Okay, so that was my next question because I know like groups of friends of like guys who they've all like whipped each other's ass at one point in
Yeah.
their 10-year friendship. And I'm
Mhm.
like, why are you still friends?
Right.
Like if a girl hit me and punched me and made me bloody or vice versa, I did it to a girl, I would never ever ever speak to them in the rest of
No.
my life.
No.
I don't
Like,
understand
guys,
that.
it's
how
like-
do you because
It's just
genuinely,
move
like,
on.
they'll kick each other's ass, be in
Yeah.
a big fight, and then shake hands after, and like the next day go get breakfast.
Oh, that's two of my
Are
roommates.
y'all okay?
Two of my roommates I have yanked apart both by their shirts on the floor, like going at each other,
Insane.
like
I
rolling
would
on
never
the floor.
speak
Two
to
like
you
two of my
again.
closest friends, like that,
Yeah.
and they just, you know what, you're right.
Is
Whatever.
it the
I said something.
testosterone?
I mean, it's like
What
Maybe
is
they
that?
it is-
black
it
out
is
and
slightly-
forget.
it-
They
it-
do.
it is one of those things. Like alcohol was involved.
Okay.
He said
I
one
don't
thing.
care.
He said one thing. He said another. Said
Mhm.
one thing. The next thing you know, we're getting closer and closer and closer. Then you kind of watch them, and then like, yeah, I went over and I tried to grab him, and so did my other roommate, and one went like this, hit me with it. So
Yeah.
then that's when I was like, pulled them apart. The next thing you know, like they're sleeping on couches next to each other.
Insane.
We just don't. Guys are so. We wake up the next day and we're like, whatever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like I mean, like I
Dude,
really don't want that to come.
Did you hit me last night?
Yeah.
No, you hit me. Dude, what? Nice.
yeah, literally.
And then now, like, if they had that same conversation, they both laugh about it, like the comments made. And they're brothers. Like, one's gonna be in his wedding. Like, it's what it is. We just
No, I
we wake up
know.
that next day, and it's so simple. Of like, it doesn't matter. We don't care.
Every guy I've ever
in the
dated.
very most like nice way. We
Yeah.
just don't care.
Yeah. Every guy I've ever dated, like, it was like, yeah, this is my buddy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were 17, we hated each other and used to be in bar fights. I was like, what are y'all talking about?
See, it just is crazy to me how simple guys are and how complex women are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, like, I would love to know the first things that you think about when you wake up and we're like,
Gotta piss.
I gotta, yes. And then, what are we gonna eat today? Ooh, we could golf. I wonder if we'll work out.
Yeah. I mean, you're hitting these.
Nail on the head, yeah.
I should stretch at some point. Back's a little tight.
Yeah. Gotta crack it
I
a
wake
little
up
bit.
in the morning and I'm like,
This
my
and
life's
this and
over.
this. And gotta check this email. Okay, well, I need to do this. Okay, well, do I have enough time to get this done and this done? Like,
Yeah, no.
It's
Like
a
when you ask
constant-
me like what do you think it sometimes and I say genuinely nothing, like I'm just like
Crazy.
I've read that
there's
before.
actually nothing going on.
No, but
like I
I've
may have
read
zoned out and
that.
look like I'm thinking about something, but I genuinely there's nothing going on in a guy's
you
My
know-
brother.
Most
Did you
of the
know
time.
that is possible for guys to do that? Think of nothing that's not possible for women to do. Like, I don't think I've ever sat there and nothing been in my head.
Not without substance.
Yeah.
Guy- I think guys
Sorry.
are yeah.
but honestly.
I mean, no, yeah. I think just guys are
crazy.
reactionary of it. Like we're gonna think of something if we're forced to think about something, but we're not gonna really care. Like, oh shoot, did I have homework today? Yeah, whatever. Like, whereas
That's wild. I mean,
just
I've
hearing
gotten
like,
to
okay,
that
I have
point.
this today, I have this today, I have this today, I have this today, and I'm like, oh well, maybe I remember I have this today. I don't know. Hey, Corey, you wanna go play 9 holes? Sure. But then at that point when she said, hey, you wanna go play 9? I was like, okay, well I'll call, schedule it. When are we leaving? When are we going? Because then at that
You
point
just
I
have
like to be on
prompted.
time. But
Mm.
just give me something. If she woke up and said, we're going to do 1,000 things today, I promise I'm going to do those 1,000 things. We're going to get them done. But if we have nothing to do or there's
they're not
nothing
gonna-
really planned,
It's not going to be your idea.
No.
well, I wouldn't say that. But I'm not going to worry about it unless there is an idea between us.
Okay.
Say
No,
it
that
like
makes sense.
Whether it's my idea that she agrees to do or she says something that I agree to do. It's
Yeah.
I'm not going to be sitting there worried about what I'm doing today. Like after this, I have no idea.
See, I would
Yeah.
love to just sit down and ask you like 1,000,001 questions and we somehow like put this all together because I feel like you're such a level-headed guy
Yeah.
too. Like really and truly diving into a man's head is fascinating to me. Like I love all the answers.
Yeah.
So thank you for giving us some insight
Yeah.
because it's just wild. And then it's also like, girls, why don't we listen to this? Why are we worrying about things that they just are not worried about?
Well, it's
God.
also, and we're also putting thoughts in their head too. Like
Yeah.
I'm worrying about something that they would never think about.
Yeah.
But I'm worried, like, oh, I know he thought I looked fat in this. whatever.
Yes.
Or I know he thought I looked crazy when I said this, this, and this. And I probably stupid when I said this comment in front of his friends. He's probably thinking I'm so annoying. No,
Yes.
he's not.
Literally.
He's not thinking anything.
No.
Yeah, no.
There's no thoughts in the brain.
No.
Like I would say an instinctive whatever, like if you ask the guy something and the initial reaction that they say is genuine.
Yeah.
What they said is what they meant. They didn't think about, okay, I'm going to say this, but I actually mean this, but I'm actually thinking this, but it really is.
I date one of those. Too honest.
Hey, babe,
help
what do you
me.
think about my outfit? I really love it. No, you don't. I don't like it. I look bad in it. I don't look good in it. You don't like it.
Your tone.
My hair, I don't like it. Like,
The
I
tone
really
matters.
don't
The
like
way
how
you
this
said
one
that.
is like, how like, this is like, what? No, I like it. It looks great.
Help.
Or,
no, yeah,
for
the other day.
instance,
The other day.
for instance, no. When I was visiting in Florida and he's like, are you going to go work out today? Why? Do you think I need to?
Oh, I get that. No, I get that.
What do you mean?
It's just me trying to be nice, like start the conversation. Hey, babe, what are you gonna do today? You gonna work a little bit? You gonna
Or he'll
work
text
out?
me,
Oh,
time
so
to
I
work?
need to get. Oh, so I need to get work done. Have I not been getting things done?
No,
No,
do you know
no,
what?
I
I
did-
know what you mean because I get texts like, "Did you go to the gym this morning?" No, I actually slept
Should
in
I
today. I slept in this morning. Why? And it's genuine. Like
Yeah.
It is
it's-
genuine. It is
it's
genuine.
not
Why'd
like-
you sleep in? Did you not feel good? Are you okay? Like, I mean, like I get it. You're tired.
But in my
Hey,
brain, it's like, "Why, you
Great.
fat
Yeah.
bitch?"
Yes.
No. Because then I tell her, oh, she says I'm tired, but I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I'm like, well, get some sleep. Like, you know what? Sleep
Yeah.
in, whatever. But then you're gonna think bad about me because I didn't wake up. I didn't go to the gym. I slept in. I didn't get my stuff done. And this, I'm like,
Yes.
no, but like you can sleep in for a moment. Like,
You're gonna think that I'm a lazy
Like,
Java
yeah.
the Hutt.
Yes.
That's what you're gonna think.
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I get it.
See, and this is the difference between the male species and the female species.
I've gone as far as like when someone's like, "Did you eat today?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I just lie about what I ate because I don't want to tell them. I'm like, "Oh, they're gonna think I'm a fat, gross person if I told them I had 2 pieces of pizza."
I had a salad with grilled
Stupid.
chicken. Put my dressing on the side. I got the light dressing, I promise.
Only ate
It's
half.
balsamic vinaigrette.
I actually just breathed today. I didn't even eat.
I had ice chips. I smelled my food. It made me pretty full.
I'm sweating.
Yes.
It's so funny.
So,
Yeah, no.
Women
No,
are nuts.
ah,
Women can be nuts. Women are not nuts.
That's why I think it's also easy
like
for me to
nuts,
tell you
but-
these things each day is because it's like it's my genuine thoughts, whereas you're like, maybe, you know, I hope that one day you'll believe what I'm saying of,
But
hey, you
never.
look good. Probably not.
Yeah.
But I'll continue to remind you.
thanks.
I'll continue to try.
Yeah, I
See,
will.
okay, we probably should wrap this up. This one's getting pretty long.
Shoot.
But that also goes to show you guys that girls are like, we overthink everything and we're
Mhm.
not perfect. We're far from it. And when you say things, don't think we're just dismissing it. It's sometimes genuinely like we have a million things going on in our head or we just don't believe it. But don't stop trying, because sometimes I think that happens too. We get in our own way, and so then guys are like, well, screw that. If she's not going to believe this or agree with me or see where I'm coming from, like, I'm not going to keep complimenting her. I'm not going to keep doing X, Y, and Z. But genuinely, it's not.
It's not that it's not appreciated.
Yes.
It's just we're not there in our own self-worth to get like
To be like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But then I would also say for girls listening that they need to tell their guy that like you do. Like you've told me some
Oh.
days, hey, I've had a bad week, you know, like thank you
Mhm.
for these things. Thank you. I've noticed what you've done.
yeah, like
And then you told me
backtrack.
that.
Yeah.
Whereas in the moment it was like, okay, well,
Right.
you know, I did try to be nice, not take away from it. Like it was fine. I said
That's
it.
true.
But then like
Yeah.
at the end of that week, you were like, hey, I did have a bad week. It was a little tough. You know,
Yeah.
the things you did didn't go unnoticed.
Yeah.
And then that's that.
Communication.
Yeah, just communicate. Make
Yeah.
sure everybody involved feels appreciated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, attaboy. Thanks for being
Yay.
our first guest.
Thank you, Corey
Glad to be
Collins.
here. Happy.
Coco. Coco.
All right.
Well, thank y'all for listening. Sorry, this was kind of chaotic.
I had fun.
I had a blast.
That's what matters.
Absolutely. And we hope y'all have fun too listening and
I think
watching.
I think I threw a lot more cuss words than normal, but I was just comfortable, I think.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens. It flowed.
Yeah.
I usually try to have a little bit of a
surprised I
filter
didn't.
here.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the worst mouth. My dad told me, he was like, yeah, you keep it pretty clean on the podcast. And I'm like, I think I said the F word last week, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of has potty mouth.
It's a space filler.
I agree.
I don't mean it
No,
when
no,
when it comes out.
completely-
It's
It's
just
okay.
like my brain's catching up and it says something.
I
Mother-
completely agree. I completely agree.
Ah,
Yeah.
crap.
You're talking to the right person because I mean, it's in every sentence. And I also work with all men.
Yeah.
So I'm surrounded all.
See, and him being on a sports team. See, but the bad thing is I normally have a great mouth, and then I'm around him, and then
Oh.
Best thing ever when she says something. Language, ma'am.
he gets on to me, and I'm like, "Don't you
Don't
dare!
you-
I only said it because
And
I'm around you."
I'm out the room by the time she turns around.
I'm like, that's not
It's
fair.
your
Oh.
fault.
Okay. Well, we love y'all. Thanks for listening.
Yay. That was a good episode.
Yeah,
I liked
this was
it.
good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.